It's just in case.
Is this going to be like your streaming attire now?
It might be.
Now look what you did. Now look what you did.
All right, everybody. Good afternoon, good evening, good morning, good night, good whenever it is you tune in. Hope all is well with you. It is I'm Coach. And across me to my left, wearing the Burger King crown.
It is rain.
All right, to his right.
It's Jay.
To his right.
It's happy.
Welcome to Madden NFL 2004.
Are you ready for some football?
Shouldn't he be wearing the crown since he's like started this whole thing?
I don't need the crown.
Are you sure?
Yeah, that just seems uncomfortable.
we can get you one tomorrow.
Don't want one.
Got a problem with the crown?
Well,
Not for me. No. Okay. So
moving right along.
I'm going to ask this question first.
Okay.
Because this is going to matter greatly for anybody else that's watching, like past this point. On a scale of 1 to 10, or you can even include 0, okay, where do you feel your knowledge of football is, right?
Oh, you said 1 to 10?
Yeah.
10 being like the most. 1
Yeah.
being 4?
Okay. Jay?
2.
Okay, so it's not 0 or 1.
That sounds. I was contemplating the 1. I wasn't gonna go as low as 0. In my brain, 0 means you. This is the first time I'm hearing what the word football is, and that is not true for me.
Happy?
I give myself a solid 5, maybe even bordering a 6. I grew up in a football family.
Really good. All right, so you'll probably keep me in check then
Okay.
on occasions.
If it's a 6 out of 10, I'm gonna say it's above average.
Yes. I will give myself
30.
100.
I'll give myself a 9.
69.
9.
I won't outright say 10 because 10, then you'll absolutely have to be in like these coaching positions. But I feel like I'm not all that far off, and I've been told that on behalf of a couple other people.
I'm sorry. Is your name not Coach?
Right.
Yes.
Says it on.
So
it says
my-
it says it on the stream. It says it on his license. It says it on his birth certificate. It says it on his social security card.
It's said in so many conversations that involve him. I feel if I say 10, then I will be content with where I am as far as my knowledge.
And you're
My
not.
desire is always to want to get better.
I mean, okay, look, I think maybe this is getting a little philosophical here, too early, too soon. The goal should always be to never stop learning, even if you think you are accomplished.
Exactly.
But that doesn't mean that you're not accomplished, that you're not skilled, or that you're not
I mean, I get what
at
you're.
its peak.
I mean, I get where Coach is coming from. He's like, if he says 10, then he's on the same level as maybe a college football coach. You know,
like actual staff members
you know, a
and
staff
stuff
member
like
or
that.
something. But at the same time, I get where Jay is coming from as well. You know, you can give yourself credit and take credit. This is your sport.
Yeah.
You like it, man.
Didn't I just pull the question saying, were you the best at that nobody else is?
Yeah, and you know what I answered with? Adding on to what Cyrus does to Ray.
That is true. He did say that.
You did, but like, you could have said more. Heck, you could have straight up lied, and I'd have to believe you.
Hey, you'd be one of those teachers. They'd be like, "Oh, you truly cannot get an A because you still have room to improve in all aspects, right?"
No,
You're one of those guys.
I would never do that to anybody else.
Shoot, everybody gets a B minus.
I'm not going to be one of those people that does it to other people.
Okay.
I just want to be like my own critic and know that like there's other things that I want to be able to accomplish. This is my way to prove that I'm at least a 9 though.
Okay.
And that is by showing you guys who are at 4, 5, 6, 2, varying different levels. This game in the most simplistic way possible. And I think that one of the best versions of Madden is ones that have football 101. Yes, because the game back in the day would just help you learn the sport as a concept.
Oh yeah, because it wasn't gonna let you do like extra.
Newer games don't care to teach you. Me and Ray were just talking about that earlier. It's like now sports games have become like so gate kept.
Yeah.
Where there's no easy entrance into these games.
And I was telling Coach, I was like, this is so great that it teaches you, because I think that's one of the things that stopped me from exploring these kind of games. I don't play any sports games. I don't play the football. I don't play basketball. Baseball, there's very few of those.
Oh, there's actually a lot of baseball games.
Yeah, because one, I grew up with the football family, but they always made me so uncomfortable because they were so intense and into the game. Where's the flag at? Oh my God, that call!
I did too.
So that didn't make it comfortable. Hanging out with Coach, he's made it more interesting to learn about and kind of grasp it more. And so comparing this to other video games, there's tutorials all the time. This is the button you press for this, and it helps you learn. We've seen that over and over. But these sports games never seem to do that, except for here. So it's like, if they had more of those, I'd be more inclined to get involved.
Yeah, this game mode, I love it because it's all meant for the people that are not at a 5 or anything else. They want to bring you up to where that you have like an average knowledge of the sport. So
Is this rated E or T?
this is rated E for everybody.
All right. So
So
does
there are football games that are like heavier, but that's mostly for like music and stuff.
No, I get that, but I meant like, okay, sure, you get the rating for content wise, but the rating should also be taken into account for gameplay wise, practicality wise. If it's going off of what you're saying, it really would match the idea of E for everyone, not necessarily E for kids.
True.
Yeah. Like G, going into movie terms, G is for general audiences. It doesn't automatically equal kid.
Mhm.
I have no problem doing the Madden. I just have one request.
Okay.
And it's like throwback to watching my brothers play Madden. Please don't say the game's cheating. If anybody says the game is cheating, I'm leaving.
We've said that. I think we said that in pretty much every other game at this point, but
Have
we won't do. It's not exactly those words, but you know what I mean.
I mean, if you don't have the skills to do the game, that does not mean the game is cheating.
In other words, don't blame the game, but blame the player.
Wait until we show you NFL Street.
Okay.
So you don't blame
Because that's going to be the game that we're going to transition from this to.
Okay.
So
I've played this game. I've played that game for 20 plus years. And I will tell you for certainty the game cheats.
Yeah, you said, all right.
I love it.
I will tell you because it doesn't outright do it, but I will let you see for yourself like what that looks like when the game wants to do something against you.
So I do have another question, Coach.
Okay.
I had heard from my son that a lot of times, like some of the games were letting you do things that you wouldn't necessarily be able to do in a real life football game. But since this is teaching, then that's not the case in this. So like, for example, if you more than likely wouldn't be able to run back a play, then you can't do it in the game. Is that more so what they're leaning towards versus back in the day you could?
Every video game is going to have its own sense of arcadiness to it.
Okay.
In these games, more it's kind of the feel of the gameplay. So the biggest selling point for Madden 2004 specifically was Michael Vick, the quarterback for the Atlanta Falcons.
Yeah.
He not only broke the conventions of the quarterback's position when he was in the field in the NFL, he then became the cover athlete for this game and broke the conventions of Madden.
Okay.
I told this to Ray last night when I was kind of like getting prepared for this. In 2013, Madden revealed their 25th anniversary since their very first John Madden football in 1988. So they called it Madden 25. And a part of that, it showed the top 25 features that have ever been in Madden. Amongst the top of the list was Michael Vick in this game
really?
specifically. They didn't mention him as a player. They
Of course
mentioned him
not.
as a feature.
The feature?
Yes.
Okay.
And I was literally just I literally showed Ray before we played, before you guys got here, like, what does that look like?
I now understand it.
Yeah, like there's things that Football 101 in here, because this only teaches you offense, which is something I don't really like.
Okay.
Which is why I've got two controllers showing up here, so that we'll go into practice and then I'll teach you guys defense. But no, offense first. We're gonna go into this mode. Now I have my controller up here, but I'm just player 2. So I will go ahead and let you choose anyone, because the concepts themselves do not change. But you can scroll around and kind of feel for, all the teams that are here.
Ray, do you have a specific team?
Not really.
Happy?
I mean, come from a football family, of course I have a team.
3. Number 3, my lord.
So pick the team.
My personal team is the Saints.
Saints.
I'll
Yes, there you go.
pick them.
Right there.
There you go.
There they go. They're right there. I was just gonna say I don't know if you should choose that in the game or not, but here we are.
This is totally fine. This is just for Jay to get an
Welcome to
introduction.
Football 101.
All right.
If you don't know what a halfback off tackle is, then this phone is for you. Calling plays and reading defenses can make all the difference out there. So sit back, relax, and have fun. School is now in session. Open your textbooks to page 1.
All right. That's school. It starts in 2 weeks for me.
Okay. So, it wants you to select a formation. You just kind of go around. So right now we're in split backs.
Yep.
Head down. Yep. I form. Single back. Shotgun. Strong eye. Weak eye. Split backs. Okay, those are the formations. And then if you go on some of them to left or right on the D-pad, we'll have split backs, 3 wide receiver. That's it for that one. Go back up. There's weak eye. There's weak eye twin wide receiver. Go up. Strong eye 3 wide receiver. Go up. We have shotgun 5 wide receiver. Go up. We have single back. We have single back big. I form big. Split back 3 wide receiver. So they have like main formations and they have like different sets.
All right.
So it's not. I like this because it doesn't give you every formation in the game.
No.
Nor should it.
Right.
But if you go to strong eye right here.
Yeah.
And hit X. Why does it? Okay. Well, that's a bit weird. Because I was testing the game mode before, so I was choosing a couple of those ones. That's why certain ones are grayed out. There's nothing to scroll.
Okay.
So it's just these 3 plays in that formation.
All right.
That's all you need to learn.
Okay.
Okay, I think you can still choose every play.
The ones that's grayed out.
Yeah, I think you can choose, so try any of one of those ones. Either X or square.
The strong eye formation is a good powered running formation. The halfback is lined up behind the quarterback, and the fullback is split to the side that the tight end is on. The counter weak play from the strong eye formation uses misdirection to foul up the defense. The fullback takes a counter step to the right before blocking to the left. The strong side guard pulls to the left, and he picks up this guy. The back makes a counter move to the right before running to the left. You get all the defenders running this way, and then you cut back the other way.
So it'll show an example.
After yourself.
Oh, I think that is actually you.
Oh, okay. So, what do I do?
Pause the game for a second.
Yeah.
Okay. Well,
Is it because it was grayed out before?
I think so. But it's good that you're choosing a running play. The only thing I'll have to tell you right now is that when you press, you'll snap the ball by pressing X, and then when your running back gets the ball, you'll hold X to run faster. Okay. That's what you got to work on right now. All right.
X and X. You better not run that way.
You showed a great burst of speed after you received the handoff.
What are you doing?
Nice try, but the play failed. Look for the opening, then sprint past the defenders. Try that one again.
Okay.
Your goal is to go forward. Um,
You showed a
That was
great
great.
burst of speed after you received the handoff. Good try, but you're still a few yards short. Keep practicing that play. We've been running this play since '92.
So
You should know how to run it by now.
anything you want to say?
yeah, I was just gonna say, like, he said look for the opening. That's what you should be doing, not just going straight into defenders.
Great run to the open field. You're getting the hang of this play.
Just like you said. In the hang of it.
You showed great explosiveness on that carry. Great run to the open field. You're getting the hang of this play.
What I love is how he says, like, oh, we've been running this since '92. Like, in this game came out, some of the players here weren't even born at
You
that
showed
point.
a great burst of
Yeah,
speed
man.
after you received the handoff.
Okay. Pause the game. Okay. Choose a new play. Honestly, running the ball. your second play absolutely terrified me because you were running the complete wrong way. And then I was like, "Oh God, I gotta figure out directions." So, and
Well,
then
it didn't help. Well, I knew that, but what threw me off was that without me touching anything, the character is facing this way. Was facing the wrong way. That's what threw me off.
well, just turn them around.
That's stupid, though.
You never want to go backwards unless you absolutely have to, because as you're going backwards, you're moving away from the line of scrimmage and you are taking a loss on the play. So instead of having 10 yards to get to your first down, you're going to have extra yards even beyond the 10 yards. You don't want to do that. You would rather get tackled where you're at than pick up backyards.
Yeah.
Yes.
By the way, line of scrimmage simply means where the ball starts.
Okay.
So there's always hash marks across that go from sideline to sideline. The ball gets placed in certain spots depending on where the play ended from before, and it resets the line of scrimmage. Now, when you resume the play real quick, I don't need you to snap the ball, but I just want you to see the field for again. You'll have those dashed lines.
Yeah.
Those are the limits where the football can go to call the play. So when you run the play and you go all the way to the left, the football gets set up at the most left position. Because you still want enough space on the fields for you to have people on both sides.
Yeah.
So that's just something else to keep in mind for.
There's no blue and yellow lines on this one?
Not in this game mode, but there will be when you go on like quick play and stuff.
Okay.
So the blue line is going to represent the line of scrimmage. So wherever you see that, that's where you start. The yellow line is your checkpoint to get the first down. And that's just progress to help you move forward in 10-yard increments. And when we say things like first down or 1st and 10, 2nd and 10, 3rd and 10, 4th and 10, stuff like that, like that is showing like, okay, this is your first crack at getting 10 yards. That was your second crack at getting 10 yards. This is your third crack at getting 10 yards. And then you'll hear like 3rd and 7. That means it's your third attempt at getting 10 yards, but you have 7 yards left to pick up.
Got it.
Yeah, and you have 4 tries to get to that first down. Really 3 tries, but on your 4th try, you'll have to punt.
Depending on where you are
where
on the
you're
field,
at.
of course, but that's for later.
Yeah.
Okay, now you can pause.
Because if you're 4th down in inches, you're definitely going to go for it. But if you're 4th down in, let's say, 8 yards, then you're probably not going to go for it.
Yeah. Choose new play.
You want to give a crack at this, right? It's good.
I'm gonna let you get more
All right.
familiar.
Have you played this before? No?
Yes,
Oh.
I'm more familiar because like I grew up playing these games with my older brother.
What was the one I did before?
You did Strong Eye.
Let's try shotgun.
Okay. I would not advise this press X here. So either square or circle. This will be your first passing play.
Let's try something. Just to even it out.
Okay.
One of the biggest advantages to running a shotgun is it enhances a quarterback's ability to read the defensive coverage by starting further back. In a normal shotgun formation, there are usually 3 wide receivers, a tight end, and 1 running back. The deep corner play is designed to spread out the defense. The slot receiver here is a primary target, and he's the guy that's running a corner route. You've got the wide receiver here running an out under the corner, so it has to be a shorter route. The halfback here stays in to pass protect, especially if it's a blitz. Drop the pass over the receiver's outside shoulder, and you could get a big gain.
So this is the preview. This is where he will try to hopefully tell you how to do it. Not every time is it successful,
I
but
think you understand the play. Let's see if you can make it work.
I like that the game itself will sometimes fail because it's not forcing you to feel as though you have to get it correct every single time, because then that would be unfair. If it always got the lesson correct, then it's never felt like it was right there with you.
It's not a legit tutorial.
Exactly. So
Yeah.
sometimes it'll have incomplete passes. Sometimes it'll have turnovers. Sometimes, like, some things will go very wrong. But then, like, John Madden will force itself to be like, all right, I showed you how to do it. Now you do it.
Yeah.
So,
You should have the hang of this already.
yeah, look at what I just did. Dust hands. I'm like, no, you failed. So I like that it's not afraid to show that, like, hey, failure's okay.
Good. All right.
So I'll go ahead and resume. If you hold R2, okay, that shows your play arc. That will also help you figure out which button to press and where to press it.
Okay.
Okay, so
And
Go
I
ahead.
hate that because, like, I feel like it should only be the buttons that are on the pad. It shouldn't be the L1 or the oh, I can't see on this side what it is.
It's from left to right. It's square, L1, R1, X, and circle.
Yeah, I think that it should only be the buttons on the pad to choose a play.
Well,
But there'll
You
be
can
more
choose-
than 4 sometimes.
there's always 5.
So that's why they use the L.
Yeah. And remember, now it doesn't make a ton of sense here just yet, but I'll explain why. X is one of the buttons to press
To pick your route.
to choose who to throw to. Yes.
Oh.
Now, if you remember, X is also the run button.
Yep.
Which means that in games that for around this era, don't worry, this is only for like these games. You would press L2 when you are still the quarterback and looking for someone to throw to. And that will switch between your ability to pass and your ability to run with the quarterback. I'm not always a fan of that. So if it feels counterintuitive, don't worry, they changed it later.
Okay.
But yeah, so if you feel like you have to run, and thankfully you have Aaron Brooks here, which is more of a mobile guy, so you can kind of move around with him. But in the events that you want to kind of move around, it will give you the option, but then your receivers get grayed out, which means that you will have to press it again to activate passing again. So now what also sucks is that before there is a mode for some reason where you'll have to snap the ball and then you'll have to press X again to activate your receivers. That's turned off because that was one of the dumbest things they did back in the day. They forced you to press X again.
To activate your receiver.
Yes. So if you wanted to throw to X, you'll have to press X to snap. You'll have to press X to activate the play, and then you'll have to press X just to throw it to him.
Yeah, that's
Now-
a lot.
Okay. Now I'm grateful because they later changed it so that it doesn't become this problem. But the new problem in the newer games, when they remove or when they changed the run button with the quarterback, they had you snap the ball. X was still an option to throw to. Now, what I don't like is that sometimes you will have like hurry up situations.
Yeah.
That's why pressing that X 3 times in a hurry up situation is gonna be a problem.
But the other side is even worse.
Oh my gosh.
Because if you snap the ball and then like hurry up to hit X again, it automatically throws to him. Which oftentimes is
Might not be
straight
right.
to a defender for an interception. And I've had that happen to me plenty of times. Where I was like trying to hurry up, I was trying to get back to the line of scrimmage, I was trying to get the play before I ran out of time, and then it just happened. So sometimes in those later games, like the button won't immediately register, and that's why pressing X again feels like it's very punishing. So
be careful.
the next game that we're going to transition to, you won't have that problem.
Okay. It kind of leads me to a question I should have asked a while back ago.
Okay.
So, is this game here, this whole game,
Yeah,
the tutorial for us, and you said transition. Do you want to play all that we can in this game and then move on to another game, or is this like, oh, we're gonna maybe do like a couple sessions here, we get a feel for it, and then move on to the main event?
pretty much this other one.
Okay,
The
got it.
second.
Yeah.
So we're not going to stick around in this one, but this mode helps us to learn the fundamentals of football. And in this particular section, it's going to be for offense.
All right.
And I'm going to activate the second controller and then tell you like the scope of defense, because for whatever reason the game doesn't tell you that. So, which is weird because defense is much harder to play in these older games because so many of the controls get changed around.
All right.
So just remember, for this play in particular, you're going to snap the ball, and then you're going to want to wait until after Pathan makes that cut.
Okay. See what happens.
You only have so much time to get rid of the ball before the
do
defenders
have to
are going
press
to
the
come busting
button.
through
See,
a
I thought
sack.
I got rid of the
So
ball
you
when I
gotta
hit
get it
the
out of there
X.
quickly.
No,
No, you're
you
just
have it, and then
snapping
you gotta
it.
throw it. You gotta press the
No.
button of the receiver.
So then
So
you
you have
show
to
the
press
player.
L1 to throw it to him.
Got it.
Yeah.
So he does that snap, throw. Yep.
It's
Not
one
bad.
thing to scramble out of the pocket, but you're just asking for trouble. Right.
Come on.
That was creative, but this play is designed to do something different. You're going to have to keep trying.
Question.
How many? Imminent.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna ask. Like, is it depending on how long you're holding the button, or
You only have so much time to get rid of the ball before the defenders are going to
because
come
it doesn't
busting
seem like
through a
that should be
sack.
that much of an
So you
overshot.
got to get it out of there quickly.
I think it's how long you're pressing L1 determines that.
Okay.
You have to get rid of the ball a little sooner to avoid the sack.
Yeah, we just gotta wait for him to make the cut.
Right.
If
Wait, why did I do that?
It gives you a set number of times,
Oh, okay.
which is why, like, you can go back to it, of course, but
The shotgun formation is primarily a passing formation, with the quarterback taking a snap 5 to 7 yards in the backfield. The deep corner play is designed to spread out the defense. The slot receiver here is a primary target, and he's the guy that's running a corner route. You've got the wide receiver here running an out under the corner, so it has to be a shorter route. The halfback here stays in to pass protect, especially if it's a blitz. Drop the pass over the receiver's outside shoulder, and you could get a big gain.
okay. One thing real quick is you venture off to the left a lot.
Yeah, because I'm trying to like get a better shot. Because I know if I'm gonna stay, I'm gonna get crowded
then
quick.
that's going to overthrow.
I think that's what's messing you up there.
So
Is
stay.
because you are messing up your throwing angle. The
Well-
idea is more to kind of keep yourself in the pocket here.
Yeah.
Because if you just naturally let the play develop, you'll get a much better passing arc that you want. Because your throws sail more to the out of bounds. But if you stay where you are, it's more going to be on the outside or the very inside of the sideline. So it'll be more of a throw inbounds, so that makes it more catchable. So
Trust the people that are defending.
Yeah, don't worry. I mean, I'm not
Because-
going to say don't worry about getting sacked, but worry more about getting that ball out of your hand before you get sacked.
yeah, stay in the vicinity where like every one of your blockers can help you.
All right.
Because when you venture off too far to the left, the defense is like, oh hey, you're moving over there, I gotta stop you.
Mhm.
And that's why you feel a lot more pressure when you're moving out as opposed to staying inside.
Staying in.
All right. Let's go shot.
Give it a try.
That was a terrific stop by the defense. You have to dig a little deeper if you want to be successful.
But I mean, you
so-
almost had that. He was right there.
You did experience what happens when you press X multiple times, though. Nice.
Now that's a great throw and catch. Try and execute every play this way.
Okay. Pause. Instant replay. All right. This is where the mechanics. Maybe I can move. Can I move in here? I move in here. I cannot move over here. But don't worry. The replay controls are a little funky, but you can press X to.
Let's play it.
Yeah. I don't know why they have so much extracurricular time. But hold L2 to rewind. Here we go. The beginning.
Okay.
All right. You're going to use the right analog stick to pan the camera. Perfect. If you hold circle, it should zoom you out. Perfect. So let's tilt the camera to where your receiver is more in focus. Over in that direction. Nice. And then we're going to hold R1 to slow the play. Nice. And then, all right, so we're going to back up a little bit. L1. I want to get rid of that bar, so if you could press the button opposite from the pause. There we go. Okay, so now that you know the mechanics there. Okay, the reason as to why this play worked before you threw to the ideal spot is because we have, all right, I'm going to point over here. We have that safety right there. He didn't move over. So he stuck to this, he stuck above the route, and there was nobody there in the immediate area to stop him. Sometimes, depending on how fast you will press the button to play a snap on offense, the defense will move players and kind of shift and stuff around. You were kind of seeing some of that before, where the safeties were actually moving up closer to your outside receiver. And in that situation, it's much more, it's a lot easier to throw it over after the break. But this one worked because, now you didn't know it, of course, but I'm telling you right now, like, it actually worked to your advantage to get the ball quicker.
I see.
So sometimes the reason as to why a play works varies.
Sure.
Sometimes the ideal version of this play is like, yeah, you'll wait for him to make that cut on his route, and then you'll throw it afterwards. But sometimes you don't have that time, and sometimes you don't need that time.
Right.
So there is waiting for the play to develop, but then there is just that. Like, if they're not there, then throw it. Like, but it does take a lot of training to kind of recognize that before the play actually happens.
Yeah. You'll start to, as you watch play after play after play, you'll start to see which route is going to be most advantageous for you. And you can actually choose during the play where to throw to instead of before the play. Because if you're always choosing before the play, then that play could fall apart.
Yeah, this one, it does help learning one route at a time. But if that's all you know, then the defense will figure that out. Because if the only one that you know how to throw to is the only option that's like in the orange there, then you will zone in on that receiver visually. And that's what causes a lot of other problems in the future. Because people are so set when they choose a play, I want that receiver to work. And then they will like force it. And it doesn't work most of the time when that happens. So, but in this situation, we're just figuring out why certain routes are paired together. So in this one, we have a corner route, we have an out route. That out route is to avoid those other defensive players to follow the actual person you want to throw to. So, and then those other routes, there are other people on the other side of the field. They're mostly there for just their plan B.
Yeah.
Not saying that they're out there running for no reason.
No.
But if you find out that your plan A on the left side of the field doesn't work out, then you'll switch over to plan B on the right side. This is why there's 5 receivers to throw to, but when you understand the play concept, there's only like one, maybe two that you really need to figure out. The others there are oftentimes, not every single time, but oftentimes they're there to distract other defenders.
Or be the Hail Mary,
Yes.
So
the last resort.
All right. So now we'll go back to the other play.
Okay, so you get
Triangle.
all right, good play. All right.
Passing the ball is always much harder to learn than running. So
What's I?
I form is, well, if you choose it. Okay, there is one of these two options. Okay, these plays are actually kind of tougher to figure out. So let me back up a little bit.
Triangle.
Yeah. Okay. I form is fairly simple. When you have the two running backs lined up immediately behind the quarterback right there,
Yeah.
where 26 and 44 are,
Yeah.
it looks like an eye.
Yeah. I mean, if it's appropriate for the name, yes.
That's why it's called I form.
All right. Good to know.
So when you have weak eye and strong eye, it's
They're off to the side.
yeah. So what weak and strong mean here is it counts. It essentially splits the field in half from a vertical standpoint to the shoulder of the quarterback. So when the quarterback looks to his left and he has two people on his left, and he goes to his right and he has three people on his right, the three people on the right is the strong side of the formation. There's just more people there.
Sure.
So it's more advantageous. But in here, for weak eye normal, the fullback, which is 44, he shifts over to the left. So now when he looks over to his left, he's got two people over there. He's got two people on the right, but he's got another guy behind him. Okay, now that's kind of split. But it's more advantageous for the right side than the left side, because the tight end, which is 85 right there, affects the play more.
Mm-hmm.
So then when you go to strong eye, it's the same thing, but it moves over.
Right.
So that's all that means.
Okay.
Single back just means that there is one guy behind you. That's it.
Let's try this.
All right.
Oh, these are all new. Let's do HB draw.
All right.
In the single back formation, there's only one running back in the backfield. And it usually goes with two tight ends and two wide receivers. This play is called a halfback draw, run out of the single back formation. The quarterback takes a snap, drops back trying to sell the pass before handing off the ball. The offensive line takes a few steps back, causing a defensive line to rush the quarterback and opening up a hole for the ball carrier. The halfback takes the ball, makes his read, and cuts it upfield through an open hole that he sees left by the defenders.
Okay. I'm not 100% sure what
Let's
I
go.
was
See if you
supposed to
can
do.
make this play work.
That was a preview. All you had to do was just watch. So, go ahead and perform.
I'll try.
You got to protect the ball in the game of football.
Yeah,
Fumbles
that's
happen,
Madden.
but the more
Shut
you
up.
fumble, the
What?
less playing time you'll see.
that they say that as
That
though
was
they
not
have
fair, man.
any control over whether it fumbles or not.
Yeah. Okay, so pause real quick. Whenever you see draw, that is essentially a fake pass run.
Okay.
So that's why the quarterback, he pretends like he's about to throw the ball. and then he hands it off to the running back. That's why the offensive line, they back up a little bit to sell more of like, oh hey, wait, we're passing, and then the handoff happens, and it's like, no, actually we're gonna run the ball. It works more so in real life than it does in the video game, because in the video game versions of these plays, they clog up. The offensive line, they often back up so where they're like shoulder to shoulder with each other, and that's not how it's supposed to happen in real life. They shouldn't be so bunched up together like that, but that's just how it normally happens in the games. So when you bounce out to the outside like that, that's totally more normal to have happen than like trying to find space in between, because the defense doesn't care.
No.
Especially those 4 guys up in the front, they're like, dude, I'm just gonna move forward anyways.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I don't have to worry about selling. Like, oh man, I gotta behave. There's no reason for them to behave differently. It's
Yeah,
like,
they're always pushing forward to get the sack, no matter what, whether it's a running play or it is a passing play. They want the sack.
So when the offensive line, they clog up, they just bunch themselves up for no reason, and it just makes it so much harder to run. So when you get anything like that, like, yeah, I would so much advise you to kind of bounce this out to the outside, because following the play art here, it's just not to your advantage. So you did a lot better of a job at handling that play than you think.
Okay. Let's give it a shot. All right.
Nice try. You almost got it. Remember to be a little more patient out there.
Right.
Okay, go to in-stream play again.
That was select.
Yeah, pause. I think you can still do it. Pause. Yeah, insert play. Okay, so we'll keep here. We'll hold R1 a little bit.
R1.
Now again, they just bunch themselves up.
Mm-hmm.
They just get in your way. That doesn't happen in the NFL, but it happens in the game. So like, it forces you to do this outside. I'm like, I don't like that these plays don't work. And you would think that, you know, after like 20-something years that they'd figure this out.
No.
They don't. Because the most inconsistent part of the mechanics of football here for these video games is the blocking. That is the thing that's like, it trips everybody up so much, because go back to the beginning, hold L2. Okay. Because in the ideal world, they want you to run in between, hold R1 again, kind of slow up and then stop. They want you to run in between 65 and 66. As if that's the thing that's supposed to happen. But then you'll kind of move forward, or forward, or forward. Okay, stop.
Right there.
What is 62 doing? You can't see him because he's got his back turned to the right.
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, why is he doing that? His goal... Yeah, there he is right there.
Yep.
He's turning.
He's turned completely to the right.
Who?
60.
Yeah.
Watch.
62.
That guy right.
He's who you're getting the ball from.
Right in front of me.
The center.
Okay, got it.
He just takes the ball and it completely turns to the right.
So then you have no choice but to go that way.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's odd.
Because that guy he's supposed to be blocking is right there.
It's right in front of his face. And he just doesn't do it. And you'd think that after all this time they'd figure that out, but they don't.
Yep.
So, yeah, I generally don't like calling halfback draws, even in the newer games, because they always run into this problem. Like, the idea of it in real life is actually more effective than you think. But the concept of pretending like you're passing only to run afterwards, it's just so much harder to do in the game. Now, there are the other plays. These are called play action. It is a fake run pass. Those ones I love. those ones are way easier because the structure of that one's just flow a lot better. But yeah, you can back out and then give it a couple more tries because you'll see like there's the difference between what this looks like. I'm gonna hopefully can you see that one?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Because then you'll see like what it looks like a few more times. What these offensive line do for you.
Yeah.
Okay.
Ray, you're about to say something?
Well, I was gonna say I always hated running those plays for that exact reason. And my brother would always say, why don't you just pull it off? Just follow what it's supposed to do. I'm like, there's nothing to run through.
Yeah.
Let's try it again. Yeah, let's try something else.
Okay.
Sure.
The split backs formation is mainly a passing formation, typically featuring 2 wide receivers, a tight end, and 2 running backs. The post corner play from the split backs formation would likely be used in a medium to long yardage situation. The quarterback takes a deep drop and looks downfield to his wide receiver. This wide receiver is a key receiver in this play. He runs a post corner route downfield, which could possibly clear out room for the tight end. Hit your open target for a good chunk of positive yardage.
This is
So if you want to air it out.
Wow, nice.
That's good.
Now you
Oh.
No, don't get too excited, Ray.
I looked down for a second. So,
It's like, man, he got good way out of nowhere. He was grifting us now.
Okay, so hold R2.
Hold R2.
There you go. So it didn't go into why it's called the post corner. Essentially, this is a double move play.
Yeah.
So the post part means that they will run straight and then they will tilt more to the left or to the right, depending on where the goalpost is, which is the yellow.
Yes.
The yellow bars.
Yes.
And then it's called the post corner because it's a fake from the inside back to the outside to the corner of the end zone, the corner of the field. So that's why it's called the post corner.
Okay.
And then these other plays, like, well, right now you're in one-on-one coverage, which means that you only have one person to worry about on both sides, especially because the other safety crept up. So I think you'll have some time to throw when he makes the second cut, because there's the move inside and then there's the move outside. You ideally want him to wait until the second time, because then that's when he should have the most separation from who's covering him.
All right. Let's give it a shot.
You have to get rid of the ball a little sooner to avoid the sack.
Well, you found the pump fake button. But yeah, it's a circle when you throw it. Nice.
That
Way
was
to
nice.
execute the play. The throw was right on the money, and the receiver made a heck of a catch.
Now remember, try to stay inside the pocket. Okay.
If you run every play like that, then you're ready to play the game on all Madden mode. Keep up the great work.
He lied.
dang.
Thanks, dear.
I mean, he's building your confidence, so that's good. But
Oh.
Come on, move.
Way to execute the play. The throw was right on the money, and the receiver made a heck of a catch. The
Yeah,
defense
you're-
isn't allowing you
you're
to do
moving it.
anything out
Yeah,
there.
that's
You're gonna have
your
to try
problem.
a little harder. I think.
I get that feeling too. I panic too. Right.
you want to run out of the pocket, but it's better to stay.
The split
Because
back
you get in a panic,
formation
you
is
don't trust
mainly
they're
a
going
passing
to defend you,
formation.
Yeah.
but
Typically
they are.
featuring 2 wide receivers, a tight end, and 2 running backs. The punch corner play from the split backs formation would likely be used in a medium to long yardage situation. The quarterback takes a deep drop and looks downfield to his wide receiver. This wide receiver is a key receiver in this play. He runs a post corner route downfield, which could possibly clear out room for the tight end. Hit your open target for a good chunk of positive yardage.
Okay.
As a quarterback, you're supposed to put the ball only where your guy can get it. You're gonna have to keep practicing.
Okay, so we're throwing too soon. Now I get it's
Come on.
A receiver
it's really
that can
tough
make
to
big
see
plays
that
like
side of the
has
field.
to be
Yeah.
fed the ball
I
so they
get like
stay
the
in
whole
the
camera
game.
angle that
Nice
we're going
job.
with, but like even in the game, like throwing outside is not easy.
Not sure what happened out there. Maybe that throw got away from you a little bit.
I'm not sure either. Yeah, that's fine.
If you run every play like that, then you're ready to play the game on all Madden mode. Keep up the great work. The defender got his hand on that one.
We're
Don't
throwing
get
a little too
frustrated
soon,
out there.
but your mechanics as the quarterback are getting better.
Yeah.
Oh,
Run.
Way to execute the play. The throw was right on the money, and the receiver made a heck of a catch.
And a run for it.
All right. We're getting there. We're getting there.
If you run every play like that, then you're ready to play the game on all Madden mode.
he's
Keep up the
really
great
having
work.
you up there.
You know, you could be all in favor.
Well, take my job. Yeah, how about that?
The defense is playing like a real game is on
This
the
should
line.
be J NFL 2004.
The defender got his hand on that one.
Every time
Don't
I
get
hear his voice,
frustrated
though,
out there.
I can't help think of Frank Caliendo from Mad TV.
Yeah.
Oh, come on, come on, come on, come on. Yes.
Oh,
hey.
Yes.
Play. The throw
job,
was right
good
on the
job.
money, and the receiver made a heck of a catch.
All right, let's call something else.
All right. All right. This was did that one.
Now remember, you can go into the left,
That's true.
right for that. Yeah, you'll get 3 more plays.
This one just did the okay, try that.
You, I don't know. You like that corner, right?
Yeah.
Well, you could do either one with that one. So
Let's try HP draw.
The split backs formation is mainly a passing formation, typically featuring 2 wide receivers, a tight end, and 2 running backs. This is a running play that will be executed out of a passing formation with 3 wide receivers. The quarterback drops back like he's going to pass, then he hands it off to the running back. The key to this play is getting the defensive line to rush upfield. So the offensive line takes a step back before moving upfield to block. The halfback takes the ball, makes his read, and cuts upfield through the hole. It's your turn to try to play. Great moves to pick up those yards.
yeah, that was nice.
Okay, pause. Insert replay. One thing I love about these older Maddens is when you are running the ball, it is sometimes advantageous to just stand there. Because
It opens
you're
up.
you're allowing everyone in front of you to actually engage in the block. This is not something that I would normally teach
No.
in the future games or even in NFL Street. But in these games, like Madden 03, Madden 04, Madden 02, it's like some of these other ones, like this era really allowed you to kind of like wait and then just kind of let the play develop in front of you from a running standpoint. Now, again, halfback draw is like the only play in which you would really have to do that with. Because when they're backing up, you'll have to wait for them to move forward again and then engage with the blocks. But sometimes, like, you're dealing with two slow people, all right? Like, physically slow people, not mentally.
I was about to say, that's not very nice.
we got some big burly guys that are you just need for them to wait to like ram into each other, and that's it, right? So
Yeah.
when you're the ball carrier, you're just kind of like, all right, now.
Yeah, they're not moving like running backs. They're moving like the weight that they have on them.
Right. And other times we will have these offensive linemen. They'll get to the second level. They'll have to deal with the faster people that are, behind these big bulky guys. And then those ones, you definitely want to wait for your blocks there too. Granted, they are slower, and then you will have people like behind you or like, from other directions and angles still trying to get to you, but you'll get more out of the play when you wait for your blocks to develop. And so sometimes if you have to just kind of like wait a second and not move, then that's totally fine. Got it. Well, give it another try.
Yep.
Get to the outside by sprinting, then outrun the outside defenders to the open area of the field. Give it a go one more time.
Okay, and in that situation right there, you couldn't, right? So if you go back to the replay, slow. Oh. Yeah, slowly we'll figure out why that play did not work. Okay.
Yeah.
So that's why. They just okay. Wait, back up a little more. Go back to the beginning. L2. Okay. I'm trying to pay attention to 65 here. Okay, 65 was good. Go back, reset. 68. Oh, 66. I'm watching 66 now. Okay. So the person that really messed you up there was actually 44.
44?
Yeah. Go back to the very beginning. Because 44 is the fullback that's kind of like lined up with the running back there. Now when you watch him, he doesn't do diddly squat.
Oh, he's not. What's he doing?
So, you don't know this now, but the split back formation is not really around in the NFL anymore.
Okay.
This is kind of the reason as to why.
Got it.
That
Makes sense.
fullback is okay. John Madden mentioned that this is mostly for a passing formation. You can run out of it, and it's still sometimes a good thing to do this with. But it's more of a passing situation because you'll have reset L2. You'll have go move over to the defense. You can move. Okay, nice. We have 98 on the very right end, and then if you move the camera just a little bit more to the left, if that makes sense. The other way. Zoom out with circle. 91. Okay. So 91 right there. If he was like the best at that position, it would be really good to have someone help out your your offensive lineman on the very right end. And that is what that's supposed to do.
Mm.
That is supposed to help your offensive lineman push him more to the outside of the play. So then, even if he gets behind him, he'll now have to deal with the fullback. So the fullback there becomes a secondary. He becomes the plan B on the right end of the field, which is why when you put the play forward with R1, his assignment is to protect the outside. But in these plays, there's no need for it, which is why he's so out of position. And that's why, like, you're just having a guy out there as a last resort for someone else failing. And that's just not how you want to, like, hold formations and plays. Like, I don't want to assume that, like, someone's going to fail.
No, of course not.
But that is mostly what split backs was meant for. Split backs was, like, helping the offensive tackles just in case that they needed to do more, they needed more help on the outside with the pass protection. But when you do run plays like these, like, okay, but now there's nothing. If they go right, like if they don't need the help, then you just have someone out there that has no assignment.
Right. They're just there.
So it's like, why? They have adjusted it so now they will have what's called an H-back position, which is different from a halfback. And well, I don't know. I don't want to bore you with all that stuff, but there is a difference. The reason the H-back is there is it's essentially where the tight end is. And the tight end normally kind of buddies up with the tackles on the right, but still, or left or right, but they still remain on the line of scrimmage. So you'll always have your five offensive line on the line of scrimmage, and then you'll have someone kind of like buddied up next to those guys on the outside. They are also kind of there to help with blocking, but they do it a lot earlier than having a fullback be way back here and having the problem be dealt with a lot later. So they've adjusted since then, but this is kind of like an old formation that you don't really see anymore. They will have their advantages from time to time, and I know that there's a couple of coaches in the NFL today that still bust this out on occasion, just because it's like it's so new and it's so rare now to have like new ideas come from this. Because there's been a couple of teams, and I know that like my favorite team has been one of them to do it recently. They added a third person back there, so it's the same concept, but rather than, and they mostly did it for the goal line. They mostly did it for when there's like a yard or two that they need in order to get in the end zone for a touchdown, but they add a third guy there for confusion.
Well, they succeeded.
And they're like, what the heck's the third guy doing there? Like, everyone else is in that split back formation, but they added a guy in between. And it's like, why?
Yeah, that's weird.
And it's that hesitation. That's all they want. They want confusion on the defense because it's like, all right, now who's getting the ball? You have three options back there. Here you have two. But when one person is dedicated to blocking, you really only have the one to worry about.
And it's a lot harder to read the play with three people back there than two people.
Yeah.
Like, you can pick apart a two-person back there because it's 50-50.
Mm-hmm.
But now, if there's three people back there, it's 33, 33, 33. And it's a lot more chance, like, who am I staying with?
Mm-hmm. And so you'll also have, you know, if one guy gets the ball back there, now you have two people leading blocking rather than one. So I get why that's an advantage, but the weakness is what's happening immediately in front of you. You have three people behind the quarterback that need to get like almost 10 yards in front to help out with anything.
And then you have to worry about is what happens with that is your chances increase of your quarterback being sacked.
Yeah.
Because now you have defenders out there that aren't accounted for as far as who they're supposed to be blocking.
Yeah. Because so now you have like 3 people that could potentially be like 15 yards away from their assignment.
And it's like, hurry up and get this ball out of my hand is what's
Yeah.
going to happen with the QB, because nobody, I mean, unless you're like super crazy quarterback, you're not going to want to keep taking sack after sack after sack. That's just too hard on the body.
Yeah. So that's why they only bust it out on very special occasions. And they want to make sure that there's not enough of a field to have anything go wrong like that. That's why, you know, when you only got like 2 yards to go, the field shrinks for the defense. So now that helps you with your offense, because rather than always having to have like 15 yards of travel before you do anything in your assignment, you might have like 6.
And
yards.
they're not going to want to air it out if there's only 2 yards left. That's going to be a run play.
Yeah.
That's not going to be a passing play in general.
Ideally.
Yeah. Unless you just got some really trash people out there as far as your receivers go.
Or you want to be smart and cute and think that you're going to outsmart the other guy when they don't work like that. And that's how a team lost the Super Bowl. Because they, at the very end of the game, they tried to get cute, and they're like, oh, we have 2 yards to go? We'll throw it.
Yeah, and
And then they got picked off.
And that's the worst case that could happen. That's worst case scenario that could happen. If you only have 2 yards, like, you don't want to get picked off in that type of situation, because that entire drive now is for nothing.
Yep. You got 1 yard to go, and you failed. And like,
Yeah.
Were you going to say something?
No.
Okay. All right. We'll run this a few more times. All right.
Make sure you give your blockers time to set up blocks for you. This is a team game. You can't do it on your own. Set.
Whoa!
That was
Yes.
great. Get
I
it down
did it.
in front of the field for a positive game.
Okay, we're gonna have to instant replay that one.
All right. Absolute with.
See, and I thought that it was just my brothers who did this. I'm getting like this overwhelming wave of nostalgia because my brothers could not play a game without, oh, we got to instant replay that. We got to instant replay that.
I'm only doing this so that he understands why that worked.
Okay.
I'm not gonna try to do it all the time because I really hate being that person too.
It's for the
Yeah.
It's for the education reasons.
Okay.
Because there is a few things that I want to go over here that can help this be a lot more common for you. So yeah, you can slow up and you can hide it now because you only have the one button to worry about now. Okay, so in this situation, John Madden was trying to tell you earlier to be patient.
Yeah.
Now, what does it look like here? Well, keep going forward. You outran your help. You got to the defender way faster than your offensive line can help you. And then you almost did it again here. But, like, this guy that you're running with, he's a bit bigger than normal. So he kind of becomes a tackling problem for these guys later on. Like, yeah, that's how that worked. So you did something that normally should be taught out of you. So yeah, run back to the beginning.
He ran that with the QB?
No. That was with the running back. But it's just like your guy's huffing and huffing and puffing on the left hand to try to help you out because he wants to get that guy in front of you. And then you just like, no, I got this. I'm faster. And then you broke the tackle anyways because you're bigger than him. And then you did it again. You kind of bounced off of this guy. He was like, I don't know what to do. This other guy's like, I ran all this far, and then I got pushed last second. So then he He couldn't get
Yeah,
out
you
of the
want to run
animation.
behind your defenders, not in front of them.
And then, like, it just stopped mattering.
Yeah.
So,
I mean, it works, but in the future, you definitely want to let your line run in front of you so that they can do their job.
Question.
Yep.
Can you stiff arm in this game?
yes.
Yes,
Okay. Can you what? Stiff arm.
and you can juke them.
Well, juking it, yeah, I figured, but I just didn't know how many games like allow you to stiff arm it. But like that would be more beneficial for him.
Yeah, most of them do. I'm not teaching him this because the mechanic is funky.
Okay.
It is R2 and L2.
Oh.
So the triggers.
Yes.
Oh.
That's how those games. That's how these games function back then. And it does matter what hand you're holding the football in.
Oh.
Yeah. Will they allow you to drop it if you do it wrong?
What will happen in that situation is right now, your running back is holding the ball with his left hand. If you hit L2, when he's holding, so like you're going for a stiff arm with your left hand, he won't do it. He will instead shift the football to the right hand. And then if you press it again, then he can do it.
Okay. Interesting.
In NFL Street, you don't have to worry about that.
All right.
It's just the one button.
Well, that's
And
good.
like,
Okay, simple enough.
yeah, they don't have to do it by these different metrics and stuff. So sometimes it's also slightly pressure sensitive, meaning like how hard you press the button will affect the type of stiff arm you lay out. Juking in this game is all R1 and L1.
Okay.
That one's also pressure sensitive. So if you have someone that's like right in front of you and you're moving forward and he's kind of like not really moving because he's waiting to figure out what you're going to do, then you can throw him off by juking to the left and right. Again, in NFL Street, that's just one button. If you want to spin, that's the circle button. That feels like it's easy enough. Sometimes you don't spin in the direction that you want to. That will matter in certain situations. But generally, sometimes you'll spin away from what you want to do. And that's like frustrating because you didn't press the button wrong. It's just like, oh, spin move. Oh, got it. And it's a 50-50 chance on like whether or not it actually works.
Wow.
So I don't like using spin moves in these games. Only sometimes will it actually like affect anything. But yeah, juking is the L1 and R1. But again, I want you more in tune to just kind of running forward and just figuring out what this does before I teach you these other things. Because I don't want to overwhelm you.
No, thank you.
If I do feel as though I am, please let me know.
This is fine for now.
So you mean to tell me that you could be holding the ball in your right arm.
Yeah.
And then press the button to stiff arm. Doing it with your left because that's where you're holding it.
Yeah.
But the guys are coming on your right.
Yeah.
Yeah, no.
That is frustrating.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
That would be annoying.
Yeah.
In NFL Street, it's just a one button, and then it's more of a timing issue.
Yeah.
Okay.
You don't have a button or any mechanic to actually break the tackle in these games.
Huh.
They develop it in later games.
Well, I feel like they developed that in earlier games.
No. It's complete chance and goes to ratings at that point. So that's why, like, when you broke the tackle, you didn't have to press anything. You didn't have to do anything in order for that to happen to you. It just happened because Deuce McAllister's bigger and better. Like,
Exactly. While we're on the trial half hour, I want to see Ray do at least one of these games.
okay.
Alright.
Yes, controller. Pick any play you like.
How do I? There you go.
Well, it's the same play.
Oh, there you go. All right. So what do you want to try?
Split back small.
The split backs formation is mainly a passing formation, typically featuring 2 wide receivers, a tight end, and 2 running backs. When running the split backs curls play, you're hoping to find holes in the defensive coverage, usually a zone. The 2 wide receivers run deep curls, trying to find seams in those zones. The tight end runs a shorter curl over the middle. The fullback here stays in for pass protection. You hit your receiver as he's curling into the seam to make this play a success. You got to protect the ball in the game of football. Fumbles happen. but
Of
the
course
more
that
you
happens
fumble,
to me.
the less playing time you'll see.
Of course, the moment I touch the controller.
Well, let's just say I ain't the only one that need practice. All right.
There was literally nothing you could have done.
Right. I was doing everything I should have been doing.
It's like, yeah, replay that one.
Absolutely.
Because,
Yeah.
Jay, this is what happens when.
What not to do?
No. Yeah, can't. Look. Is that. Okay, 65. He should have been blocking that dude.
Yeah.
That's what went wrong.
Uh-huh.
I stayed in the pocket.
44 also didn't help you at all either.
Oh.
Yeah. So it's like, no, it wasn't that I did anything wrong. Oh, God.
Try again.
The defense isn't allowing you to do anything out there. You're going to have to try a little harder, I think.
Wow! Wow!
So this guy loves me and said, "Oh man, you can be in the big leagues." He's like, "Man, you suck."
You know what? Maybe you should give up on this journey.
What a
Picked
contrast.
up a good chunk of yardage on that play. See if
Yeah.
you can do the same thing again, and this time to the primary receiver.
Wow. He is clowning and talking trash.
For no reason.
Okay, I love this because, like, he told you that the curls concept is happening on both sides of the field. Surely that means that, like, okay, you can choose one or the other.
Right. And so
But,
I'm
like-
making my choice. Why don't you stick to the main guy? Who's the main person?
There's two. It's just a matter of looking to the rest of the right and see which one's better. There you
Great
go.
time. You waited for the receiver to make his cut, then you drilled him between the numbers.
Oh.
Not bad. Nice play. Good catch. You're getting the hang of this passing thing.
There you go. This passing thing.
This is so disrespectful. I am doing nothing different.
Nice pass, but it was to the wrong player. Concentrate on the primary
Wrong
receiver.
player. Wrong player.
See,
Put you through the ringer.
see, I love that before the stream happened, you were like, dude, I don't know if there's gonna be anything entertaining out of what we're doing. I think it's just gonna be an education thing, and like I don't think you're gonna get our reactions in the same manner as all these other games. Like I don't know how the viewers are gonna find this. And I'm like, yeah, how about we hand you the controller and figure out what happens? Because games hate you.
Yes.
No.
I was just thinking about his technology problems.
Yes.
And I was just thinking that, like, it was all fine when it was with Jay. As soon as it hands over to Ray, now he's talking
John Madden
trash.
turned into Gordon Ramsay.
Right.
See,
You freaking donkey! What are you doing?
it has nothing to do with video. If it runs on electricity or battery, then then it's immediately default right there.
You're right. What are you? An idiot sandwich.
Craig it.
See what comments he's got now.
Oh.
Not bad. Nice play. Good catch. You're getting the hang of this passing thing.
You are adequate.
Oh.
You picked up a good chunk of yardage on that play. See if you can do the same thing again, and this time to the primary receiver.
Still can't get over a wrong player.
And then he said it again. Who is the primary receiver?
Oh,
Great time.
you were so close.
Waited for the receiver to make his cut, then you drilled him between the numbers.
Okay, Jay, give this play a try.
All right.
Because there's something else that I want to show here,
Okay.
especially when it comes to the curl route concept.
And watch his tone totally change.
All right. So, okay. Sure.
You picked up a good
Bullshit!
to the primary receiver.
Bullshit! I am sorry, but absolute bullshit. Okay.
Why do I really enjoy seeing you guys geek out on this? I really do.
Here you go.
Take the crown.
Take the crown.
He has rescinded his position. Jay is now king of football. Because
Logic dictates.
he did the wrong thing and scored anyways, according to Madden.
Right.
I also want to make this. I'm probably going to show myself here, but for this particular one that Ray started, I was only kind of halfway paying attention to what the guy was saying what to do.
Yeah.
I'm going to keep it 100 with you on
Okay,
that one.
this is why I'm handing it back over to you, because if you hold the play art, R2,
That was funny.
so the reason as to why the curl concept is kind of iffy in these games, especially in the older ones, the behavior of the wide receivers after they make the curl, which is like they run 15 yards and then turn around. Sometimes, and this is going to be also apparent in NFL Street, because they just didn't figure it out at the time. Sometimes the throws will be really weird. And what that means is when you throw it before they make the cut, the game treats it as though you've ran a streak route, which is keep going forward. And that's not what you want to do.
Yeah.
But in real life, they want you to anticipate where they're going to turn around so that you're catching the defender off guard the quickest. Because if I run upfield 10 yards and immediately stop on a dime, turn around, and the ball's right there already for me to catch it, that's the ideal way. But if you do it in this game, it doesn't figure out the timing correctly. So sometimes you'll have to wait for them to actually turn around. Otherwise, the ball will be wildly inaccurate because it just is not trying to figure out like, oh, it's a curl route. You're trying to do this. Watch what happens when you kind of press it just slightly early on these deep outs. On this
Square circle?
Circle, yes.
Great time. You
You
waited for
didn't
the
have
receiver
time
to
for
make
them
his
to turn
cut,
around.
then you drilled him between the numbers.
And he
So-
just complimented me for that.
So it just throws more forward than anything else.
Yeah.
I'm like, that's not how that play's supposed to work.
Right.
Now watch what happens when you give yourself more time.
Good
Yay.
job on that play. You waited just enough to allow the receiver to run his route and then make the grab.
Then what happens, and this is going to be more frustrating when you're on defense, the defender gets like way too far behind him.
Mhm.
Now, that's all fine and dandy for you on offense. But when you're trying to stop this play,
Right.
and that happens almost every single time,
Uh-huh.
like there's almost no way to guard it.
Right.
This does not get fixed in later editions of the game.
Yeah.
So if you understand how these curl routes work, then even in the most recent Maddens and college football games, you can manipulate it so that the defender will always be caught off guard by the turnaround. And there, I was playing against someone online, and that's like the only route that they actually knew how to throw.
Huh.
And yet I couldn't win because the defense just wasn't allowing my guys to recognize that like this is happening. So in these instances, it's good to have like a level of short-term memory, especially when you're on defense. But having the ability to understand like why certain routes work better than others is going to be a lot more advantageous for you to kind of pick plays as you go down the field. So, is there any other play that we want to try on offense before I switch up?
No.
Hand it back over to Jane. Okay. Pick any play here. I'm gonna look for something called play action.
Play action. All right.
So figure out a formation that has it. Well, choose one of them first. Select it. Okay, that one doesn't have a play action. That's the name of the play. That's not the formation. Okay, no. Single back. Try it. No, not in that one. I4 normal. Well, try it. No. Okay. Weak eye normal. No, not one there. I did see one. No. 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 No.
Where did these?
Single back again? No. No.
Yeah, they did these two.
I4 normal. Play action. Circle.
The I formation's a well-balanced offensive play system with both running backs lined up in a straight line behind the quarterback, usually for the running game. The play action play is best run after you've established a solid running game. The quarterback makes a play fake to the back, trying to affect the defenders in the middle, or the linebackers. You're looking to hit the tight end as he runs into the middle where the defender used to be if you did affect him.
This one's tricky.
It looks like it, yes.
You didn't get the ball to the right receiver. Take your time. Wait for the receiver to create some space, then hit him in stride.
Okay, so the primary receiver is pressing X.
Okay.
You have to get rid of the ball a little sooner to avoid the sack.
Now remember, try not to move around too much when you're the quarterback.
That's
Nice.
He did a nice job of pulling that one in. Great job of being patient out there.
Shut up, Madden.
Okay, pause real quick. Let's go to instant replay.
okay.
So this is the opposite of a halfback draw in the sense that it is a fake run pass. Hide the in there. Okay, cool. So in this situation, the defense is supposed to respond to the run, and that's exactly what happens there. Which is why there's that wide open space for him, because if you go back to the very beginning, turn the camera around, zoom out a little bit more. We're looking at number 50 for the Lions here in white. watch him and then slowly go through the play. Oh, circle. All right. So at first he's backing up. He turns around. He's like, wait, whoa. Hang on. You guys are running the ball. I'm gonna move up and I'm gonna go ahead and tackle this guy. Hang on a minute. You guys are passing again. That is the idea for play action stuff. You are tricking the linebackers that are in that section of the field. You want them to bite on that run.
Right.
You want them to think that you were originally going to make a pass, but you've pivoted to now running the ball, but then you go back to making a pass. So like you said, tricking the line.
Misdirection.
And
Misdirection,
sometimes those steps forward and backwards, a little bit left, a little bit to the right, that's all you're looking for. And in this instance, like, it's a lot better because we're not dealing with like super high rated linebackers here. No offense to whoever number 50 was in the Lions, but he's not going to be someone that's generally sniffing out the, hang on a second, I know this. Because there are going to be some plays where you'll choose it, but as Madden was saying, you didn't establish that you're good at running the ball.
Right.
So if you choose this play, like, and you haven't done anything to prove that they have to stop the run, they will just sit back and be like, all right.
What are you doing?
Yeah. They'll stand there and wait for you.
Mm-hmm.
And that's why, like, you'll have to throw them off by having the halfback draw. I was like, all right, I'll go ahead and pretend like I'm passing. Nope, never mind. I ran, and now you're 5 yards out of position. Because you're trying to predict too much before it actually happens.
Yeah, that can be a little bit of a problem, being too far ahead.
Mm-hmm. So that's these plays. I think if you stick in this formation, I want you to choose something else real quick. Okay. Triangle. Choose new play. I think you can stick here because I form normal. Halfback screen.
The I formation's a well-balanced offensive play system with both running backs lined up in a straight line behind the quarterback, usually for the running game. To make the halfback screen work, the left guard and center need to do a bit of acting. The left guard and center pass block before releasing out to the flat. If they release too soon, the defense will know that the screen is coming. After they release, the halfback moves into position behind his blockers. The quarterback dumps a pass off to the back, who uses the blockers to pick up big yardage downfield.
Set! Alright.
So, show the play art.
Say what?
R2.
That's R2.
What?
Yeah, R2.
Oh, there we go.
It just glitched for a second.
Okay. So you have all your routes over in yellow.
Yeah.
Your main target is running blue routes.
Alright. Okay.
There is a difference here because when everything was in orange, that was like your primary target. Your primary target is highlighted a different color because he's given a different assignment. And these blue routes, they mean I am going to block a little bit and then I'm going out for my route. So these buttons won't be there immediately. You'll have to wait for the delay. Because if you throw too soon, then you just threw like 5 yards behind you for no reason. So this is another play where it's like, okay, it's more advantageous for you to back up with your quarterback because you got two offensive linemen that are acting. They're not going to block because they're too busy moving to the left there, so that when you get the ball to the running back, he'll have two guys to help him out. So This one is going to be tricky for your timing here, but you want to hit L1. You hit L2.
You only have so much time to get rid of the ball before the defenders are going to come busting through and sack you. So you got to get it out of there quickly.
He's so nice to you.
He hates me.
Be patient and wait for the halfback and the lineman to get in position. Once they're in the clear, get the ball out to the back so he can run to the open field. This seems too easy for you. Nice pickup on that play.
You hear that, Ray?
Uh-huh.
It's so easy.
Really inconvenience.
Good job. The pass was on time and running to the open field was what made this happen.
Meanwhile, if I pulled the same thing, well, you didn't score, so we're gonna have to dock some points.
All right. I'm trying to do this. I'm gonna see you try it.
Oh God!
Hey, what's a good play for you?
Wow!
It was a well-executed play. You did everything right. You followed your blocker.
All right, Ray,
and
follow it
picked
up.
A big chunk of real
All
estate.
right, your turn.
Who is my main?
L1.
Oh, okay.
Good job.
Nice.
The pass was on time and running to the open field was what made this happen.
There you go. You're getting the hang of this passing.
You have to
Bro.
hold on to the ball. You don't have the ball.
I only get the one. Just the one.
The best spot for a receiver to catch a ball is right between the numbers. If you put the ball there, then it's up to him to make the catch and to run after.
You
Yeah.
did put the ball in between the numbers.
Yeah,
It was
yeah.
on the back of his jersey.
Yeah, okay.
You got to protect the ball in the game of football. Fumbles happen, but the more you fumble, the less playing time you'll see.
Dang, it's on your palm, bro.
That seems too easy for you. Nice pickup on that play.
I'm almost waiting for him to be like, if you ain't gonna play the passing controller.
Oh, God.
Oh!
Good job. The pass was on time and running to the open field was what made this happen.
Yeah. So okay. In
That
these
one, I want to see the replay of that one.
Okay.
Probably good.
Okay, we're kind of stopping a little bit after.
Yeah, they did that for the last one too.
Yeah. Sometimes the play will just be a little too long for it to keep up with it. So yeah, this only happens in these older games because there's no button for you to break tackle.
Yeah.
Just like there's not really a button for you to tackle.
Yeah.
So you're kind of ending up with this hodgepodge in the middle of the field where it's like they're waiting for the animation to work.
Somehow this turned into a mosh pit here.
Yeah,
Right.
but like, hang on. Let me just figure out how to get in the right spot to tackle you. Don't worry, I'll just gotta be there. And then finally,
Yeah.
and then they grouped up. So these older games will have that kind of cluster feature. 25. What the heck happened to you?
And it's
Why
like,
are you on your knees? Like,
It's praying.
but like, notice how he tackled, went through his players.
you went through 98.
Yeah. Like he went through 54.
Like, what is happening here?
Yeah. That glitch, like.
Be patient and wait for the halfback and the lineman to get in position. Once they're in the clear, get the ball.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, but okay, pause real quick because that's why I had to mention the curl route because that's what your halfback is doing. And that's why it's a bit iffy on whether or not he's going to treat it as though you're doing the right thing. Because you're dealing with a delay, and then he's running a curl route to the side. But I already told you how curl routes sometimes don't work as normal.
Right.
Now we're adding an extra element of like figuring out the exact time to throw.
Mhm.
And now you're dealing with other things like waiting for the blockers to get in front of you before anything happens. And now you're having to deal with like 2 extra people in your face as the quarterback.
Yep.
So these screenplays, when they work, they're tremendous. But they only work on certain occasions where you're kind of expecting the defense to do something really fast. Because when you have all these people kind of clustering up in front of you, if I just dump this off to the side, give me like 2 people to kind of help me out run forward, then there's nobody behind them. Like that's why like when screens are effective, like there's almost nobody in position to stop them. Screens now, they are everywhere, and there's a lot of different variations of screens now. Because it used to just be a halfback screen. Now you'll have a screen to your wide receiver. Which, well, what does that look like? Right? You'll have a screen to your tight end. That looks completely different. There's something called a bubble screen.
Oh boy.
I'm like, what the heck is that? Right? So the wide receiver screens, sometimes they're called jailbreak. Like, all right, way to be way too intense about this. But the idea is more of like an escape plan. That's why it's kind of like it has that level of intensity because when you hit the play, it's supposed to act very quickly. So, you know what happens when you press X a couple too many times and it just throws for you?
Yeah.
That's almost the same time that you have to have for that play. Like, it's almost has to be accidentally fast, which is really weird. But in real life, it does work. I've seen, teams win game-winning touchdowns off of that. Just because it's like, hey, we caught them off guard, and this is the reason why.
I mean, sometimes you got to come up with some type of play that's going to not be the same old, because same old sometimes gets stopped.
Yeah, same old gets taught to learn how to stop.
Yeah.
So this is why, like, every couple of years, the game of football looks different. Because, well, it's a copycat league. So if one year, like, hey, everyone's doing well with, like, certain plays, all right, let's add them to our playbook and figure out why they work. And then, like, everyone runs it, and then eventually the defense is like, hang on a second, I know how to stop you now. And I was like, crap, well, now I got to change. And then it's just a rinse and repeat. Which is why, Ray before, he was talking about, like, oh, man, like, it seems like there's not a whole lot to branch off of when you learn the basics. I'm like,
Others.
yeah, first off, football is a community sport.
Yes.
Meaning, everyone in the United States learns the game of football a little bit differently from the other person.
Yep.
Because it's all about what that person values to be taught.
Yeah.
Right.
So no one really has the same exact starting point for the sport. And when you have something like that happening with everybody else that's learning, you end up with some really weird and unique ideas.
It's a melting pot.
Yeah. And that's why I love it so much, because like baseball is very structured, it's very simple, and so like people find joy in the numbers of it. Basketball is like very high intense, but it's high scoring, very stamina. But sometimes like you don't understand like why certain things work better because it's also fast paced.
Right.
Soccer's very much the same way. Football slows it down and helps you learn at it from an individual play standpoint. And it gives everyone else kind of more time to kind of figure out like why certain things work, why certain things didn't work. And in Madden's case here, sometimes there's just not voice lines for him to figure out, like, oh, crap, like, you didn't have a chance to do anything in that play. Don't worry about it. Just hit the next time. Sometimes it's just like, oh, well, you got to be better at holding on to the football, dude. Otherwise, like, otherwise you're going to get off the team.
Right.
Sorry, Rick.
Yeah. No.
Sorry, but I guess you got booted off the team.
Yeah.
So, yeah. I really like how fast that we've picked up here. And I'm really glad that we're doing this version of teaching before I try to teach you an NFL Street, which it does have its own tutorial, but it's only for that game. Like, it's not really going to be helpful to learn from a universal standpoint because it's so flashy and over the top and ridiculous. I mean, like, even in the trailer, it was like flash over fundamentals. I'm like, whoa, hang on. We're not going to say that the fundamentals are useless here, but we are going to subvert expectations, which is why I need something to subvert you with. Okay? Because I mean, if you only know the game from that crazy standpoint, then yeah, everything else is going to seem a lot more complicated.
Yes.
But here, it's like, all right, I want you to run to the right. You run to the right. Good job. Cool. I want you to hit this person just before he turns around or something like that. And you did that. I'm like, cool. Awesome. That's the basic. That's the essence of this game. When you have like all these other people, they try to like they overcomplicate the sport, and that's what makes people like not want to learn it totally. But I'm like, here, it's like, dude, there's like one receiver that you need to worry about, and if you understand the timing and the throwing angle and learn patience for it, then you got it.
Yeah.
Then there's things to branch off from there. Okay. Quick. Yeah.
This was fun though.
Yes, for sure. We're on a quick. Okay. Playmaker. That's a different thing altogether. Go to game modes. Actually, I think I can activate my controller now. We're gonna go to practice. We're gonna go to normal. Pick another team.
All right.
Actually, I think I can only move. Can you move? All right, perfect.
Okay.
So you're gonna choose what defense you're going up against. Okay, we have ventured into. I'm gonna back up because this won't make any sense. This is the NFL Europe League.
Oh.
Yeah,
I thought things were just completely made up.
no, these were people. These were the Admirals, the Claymores, the Dragons, the Fire, the Galaxies, the Thunder, and then the NFL Europe alumni.
How come we don't have a Dragons team?
I'm sure a random high school does somewhere.
But I mean, like in the NFL.
Okay, let's talk about the teams that are here. We have the Chicago Bears,
Some Bears.
who no longer play in Chicago.
Chicago.
At least not in the future. In the year 2030, they will move over to Hammond, Indiana, which is like South Chicago, essentially. So, like, geographically speaking, it's not a whole big of a difference, but they did move to a new state.
Yeah.
They did set that up. We have the Cincinnati Bengals. We have the Buffalo Bills. The only actual team that geographically plays in New York.
Wow.
And I say that because there's two other teams that have New York in their name and don't play there geographically. We have the Denver Broncos. We have the Cleveland Browns. The second iteration of the Cleveland Browns. We have the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. We have the Arizona Cardinals, who I'm pretty sure started off in Chicago. we have the current Los Angeles Chargers, here San Diego Chargers. We have the Kansas City Chiefs. We have the Indianapolis Colts, the other team playing in Indianapolis. We have, they actually started over in Baltimore. We have the Dallas Cowboys. We have the Miami Dolphins. We have the Philadelphia Eagles. We have the Atlanta Falcons. We have the San Francisco 49ers. We have the New York Giants, who currently play in New Jersey. We have the Jacksonville Jaguars. We have the New York Jets, which share the same stadium with the Giants. We have the Detroit Lions. We have the Green Bay Packers. Them and the Bears are one of the oldest NFL teams ever. They've been around for longer than the NFL, actually. The NFL was more of a thing back in 1920. That was like the official title for it. But some of these other teams, they've been like in playing professional football before that. And so these are one of the few teams. The Packers, the Bears, and interestingly enough, the Cardinals are one of the oldest franchises of all time. Anyways, we have the Carolina Panthers. At this time, one of the newer teams, but they were established in 1995. We have the New England Patriots. We have the Oakland Raiders at the time. Now they are the Las Vegas Raiders. They also used to play in Los Angeles. But, yeah, just call them Raiders. We have the current, then St. Louis Rams. Now they play in Los Angeles and share a stadium with the Chargers. We have the Baltimore Ravens. These used to be the Cleveland Browns.
Okay.
We have the Washington Redskins,
which is now the
Washington Commanders. Before they were given the Commanders name, they were called the Washington Football Team for like 2 years.
Yep.
So yeah, there was a playoff game held where they were like, "Oh hey man, we are a good football team. We are called the Washington Football Team." Yeah, they thought. Okay, certain people thought that they were just a bit too offensive with the name, which is actually kind of weird considering that like most people that like they were actually kind of basing the name off of didn't have a problem with it. But they turned it into a problem with PR and media and whatnot, and especially with the person that was in charge of this team at the time. Really dragged their team name through the mud.
Yeah.
Which is why, like, after so long, it's like, no, we can't deal with this. So, we have the New Orleans Saints. We have the Seattle Seahawks. As of the recording, they were the last team to win the Super Bowl. We have the Pittsburgh Steelers. We have the Houston Texans, the newest team in the NFL because they were established in 2002. That means that for a couple of years, there were 31 teams in the NFL, which is a weird number.
It is.
Especially when it's all about, uniformity and organized and stuff like that. We have the Tennessee Titans.
So does that mean like someone would have to play an extra game to determine going to the Super Bowl?
I wouldn't say that, but yeah, I will have to establish divisions later on. And then last but not least, the Minnesota Vikings.
My father's favorite team.
Yeah, so and that's it.
Okay.
So is there a team that you want to learn about more?
Let's do Buccaneers.
Buccaneers, nice. Okay. Do you want to play as them or play against them?
Play as.
Play as them. Actually, no, I'm fine. Because I want to teach defense. Who do you want to go against?
Oh, it doesn't matter.
Okay. We will go against the Chargers.
All right.
Move your controller to control Tampa Bay. Yeah, that's just showing the profile. So keep profile one.
Okay.
I'm not gonna go too far right now. We might have to do another session of Madden 04. Okay, so what I choose, don't care. We have 4-3 normal. Go down. We have 4-6 bear. Go down. Oop. We have 3-4 normal. Nickel normal. Dime normal. Quarter normal. Goal line. And then special teams.
Don't worry about goal line or special teams right
Yeah. Let's go back up to where it said 4-3. Okay. This is called 4-3 because if you hit X, they will have 3 different categories of colors here. So there are 4 people in white, 3 people in orange, 4 people in yellow.
Yes.
4-3 is all about 4 defensive linemen, 3 linebackers that control the yellow, and then the rest are just defensive backs. That's all those numbers mean.
Okay.
So whenever someone says, "Oh, well, they're in 4-3," that's what they're counting. They're just counting the amount of people that fill those positions up. So that means that if I said that there is 5-2, what does that mean?
There are good things, but 5 of the white and 2 of the yellows.
2 of the orange, yeah.
2 of the orange, yeah.
That's it.
Okay.
Later on in other things, like they will list the defensive formations just on numbers alone. But yeah, that's what that looks like. Okay. Back out. Go down. 4-6 bear. What does this mean?
Well, there's 4 of the white, but I don't see 6 of the orange. I only see 3. 6 of the yellow?
No. This one's pretty much a trick question.
Okay.
So sorry about that. This is an old formation.
Okay.
This has kind of been ruled out now. The idea of the 4-6 was to overwhelm the line of scrimmage for the offense and overwhelm specifically the tight ends that are on the outsides of the play. So when you have like your 5 offensive linemen and you'll have the other tight end buddying up with them on the line of scrimmage, these positions are there to smother that tight end. So that's why if you look over to the right, all those guys in orange, that is their job. It's to overwhelm the tight end that would be lining up in front of them. They want guys on the inside and outside shoulder of that tight end to really make them completely useless. Because then that forces everyone to help them out. And then that leaves a little bit of a numbers disadvantage for the offensive lineman, which is where those other 4 guys in white come into play. It's an old concept because one of my favorite plays of all time featured the absolute destruction of this play in the dumbest way possible. I have to show you it afterwards, after we're done here, because I cannot describe how broken this formation can get when it's not done correctly. Or when it is done correctly, but you exploit it. So, back out here. Go down. 3-4. What does that mean?
Yeah. 3 whites, 4 orange.
Yeah.
Easy.
Okay, nickel. What the heck is going on here? Why is it called nickel?
That I'm not sure.
So now we're counting the yellow. How many yellow?
2.
That's orange.
4. No. 5.
5.
So 5 nickel.
Like a nickel.
Okay.
Watch how completely broken this concept works. When you back out, go down. Dime.
10.
No.
6.
It's the next value of currency up above nickel.
Right.
Because there's nothing else in between. You know,
Sure.
We're not going to call it 6 cents. But yeah, that is that. And then quarter. The next value above a dime in currency is a
8.
quarter.
Or 7, rather.
Yeah, so now we have 7 defensive backs on the field. All there to stop the pass. And then it's not in here, but there is a dollar formation.
Okay, so 8.
Yeah,
Nice.
which is really weird. Because, like, you only break out that in very desperate occasions for stopping the pass. Okay, now we're in goal line, which has all your hefty guys up front, which is why we have 5, 3, and 3. But we're not going to call it 5-3 because we understand it's for short yardage situations. So that's why we have all of our big guys up front to kind of cover the 5 offensive linemen. We have 3 guys in orange to cover up for any other tight ends, running backs, and then the 3 people on the yellow are there for the fast last resort people. So that's all that. And then special teams are like block or like punts and field goals and other boring stuff like that.
Okay.
Yeah, choose some.
Oh, okay. So, do some?
Yeah.
Alright. Let's try this one.
Okay. So you hold R2. Oh, that's L1 or R1. Yeah. All right. R2.
This
Show
is
the
R2.
plate. Yep.
Okay.
Okay. You chose a cover 1.
Okay.
Now, all right. Do I have to explain what the red lines are for?
No, it's to throw or pass, right?
For your defensive assignment, though,
Okay.
the red lines are that person's assignment to cover. So you have Dwight on the left, you have Caldwell, you have Boston on the very left, you have Dwight. On the very right, you have Boston. And then kind of in between, you have Alexander and Tomlinson.
Yes.
Now your people, I was like, all right, so I got Dwight on the left, so my red line is to follow him wherever he goes. So whatever he does, I'm going to be right around. The lines in orange, those are your blitz guys. Those are guys who are there for one purpose and one purpose only. Go. Go after the person with the ball. I don't care what that looks like, just go. All right? So you're going to go through that offensive line and you're going to attack whoever has the ball. If it's the quarterback, then you go after the quarterback. If it's the running back, you go after him. Now, that big spot, that big blue in the back, it's called cover 1 because you have that one guy as a deep assignment. That is like your last resort there. So that's all that number's for. Okay. When you have a cover 2, what does it look like?
Not sure.
It's 2 guys back there from the big blue.
Okay. So
Because that's all that number is counting for.
okay, just the
Everyone else is like when it's a cover 1, it's like there's only one person that's actually covering a certain section of the field. And that's why nobody else is really accounted for because their job is very simple. So when it's cover 2, then there's a little bit of variation. So right now, they call this man coverage because it's man on man. Makes sense?
Yep.
But that guy in the deep blue, he's got his zone, right? He's got that space in the circle. That's his zone. So when you see a bunch of other things like that, then that's his zone coverage. That's pretty much it for defense. And then it's just a matter of like, what is my priority on this play? So everyone that's got a red line, their priority is always going to be whoever that is. Just don't make sure that they're open, and then if they don't have the ball, then good.
Okay.
But then their assignment immediately shifts once it's a run play, because then it's like, all right, now I got to go after whoever has the ball. But in zone, that's why your player over there will back up and kind of be and protect that zone. If anybody goes in that bubble, he's also going to be there, which means that you could have, Caldwell running up forward or kind of going into the middle of the field, and then you'll have two people to worry about. Like this, that's not good. So when you have a cover 2, it's 2 people in the back dealing with the deep assignments. When you have a cover 3,
It's 3 people.
3 people. When you have a cover 4,
4.
when you have a cover 6,
6.
no.
5.
It's still technically 3, which again we'll get into it later. But yeah, cover 9.
7.
You're actually right.
Okay. All right. So 7.
That means that there's like 7 people in coverage. And it looks very funky because like everyone's got something to do, but what you're thinking of in cover 9 is going to be very different from what it actually looks like. But right now we're going to focus on this, and like that's what this play art means. So whenever you see like those zones and circles and stuff, it's like, yeah, they're meant to go over there. And those numbers or those colors change. So thankfully, every version of Madden means that when you have a deep blue, they are covering the back end of the play. Okay. I would say that we're going to figure out like what this play looks like, but I somehow chose a quarterback run here. And I chose Drew Brees, which is very slow. We're going to choose a new play.
Okay.
I'm going to call an actual, like, something like that. Okay, now what I wanted to have happen on the practice mode is I would want it for us to... Okay. I would want this practice mode to tell you, in terms of numbers, the play that I chose. Because it does matter depending on what you want out there to defend. So I'm going to choose or single back normal.
Okay.
So when you look at what I'm picking through, on my team, I will have 1 running back behind me, and I will have 1 tight end who's number 80, and then the rest are wide receivers. That can all be bunched up by just saying the number 11. So 11 in this instance will mean 2 separate numbers. The first number is the amount of, I always get this mixed up. I think it's the amount of running backs first. The second number is how many tight ends there are. So in this situation, there's 1 running back, 1 tight end. Cool. 11. We don't need to count all the wide receivers. Because the number game doesn't matter there. So when it's in 21 personnel, That means that there's 2 running backs, 1 tight end, 2 receivers. When it's 12 personnel, 1 running back, 2 tight ends, 2 wide receivers. The number always has to add up to 5 because that's how many people there are. Now, what that matters for you is, I'm going to call this play went this way. Keep in mind, I now have 3 receivers on the field. If you choose 4-3, you have 25 and 20. Those are your numbers there. You're missing a person
Yeah.
to kind of cover that 3rd receiver. So then you'll go into nickel.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah. So then you go to nickel. Now you have a 35 there to help you out with that 3rd receiver. If you hit left or right, you have 3-3-5. Again, it's the same number concept as 4-3-3-4. 3 defensive line, 3 linebackers, 5 defensive backs. That's all it means. So when you keep track, and the game will help you with this too. You'll want to keep track of how many receivers there are, but you also want to keep track of everything else because then you can put your defense out of position on accident. Because these plays separately, they will function much more against each other than for each other. So pick something from that one.
Okay.
Oof.
Show the man under.
All right, show the play art. L1 again. Hit triangle. Okay. Show the play art. R2.
What's happening?
Okay, triangle. R2. There you go. So you chose man under. So why isn't this called cover 3?
There's 4th guy up there.
Well, you have those red lines,
Yeah.
right? Those represent man coverage,
Right. So there's 4.
and they play underneath. So essentially, those 3 guys with the deep blue, they'll back up from where they're standing. They want to be the last line of defense. And that's okay when you have everyone else taking other zones. But in this situation, everyone's individually covered except one person. Do you figure out who's not covered? Somebody who doesn't have a red line to them?
Guy in the middle. With that.
Tomlinson. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's a problem.
Right.
Because he's in the Hall of Fame
Oh.
for being one of the greatest running backs ever. It's like, you don't want to have him completely unaccounted for. So, yeah. Now, thankfully, my play doesn't involve him, which goes to your advantage here. Because now, I'll call this play real quick. Okay.
Defense worked.
The defense worked because this guy was running into several different problems. Now, 25 had his assignment to go and be the last line of defense. So he stuck with me, even though he was on the outside. He wants to respond to the deepest problem. But 53 here, Corals, he was assigned to just stick to the receiver no matter where he went. That can be a problem Because look at how far 53 had to travel.
Right.
Like, whoa, I need some help, man. I'm not that fast enough. Whoa, let me get some help back here. It was like, all right, fine. We'll have 2 other guys to help you with. Because then 26 comes in the fold. I was like, yeah, I got you. 25 was like, yeah, I got you. Don't worry. And that's why this play was like, whoa. I went from being like completely wide, a little bit wide open right here. There's a bit of a window there, but you had to be a really accurate passer to find it. So then just being like, this was stupid. I got everyone on me.
So do we want to call it here?
Yeah. But I just wanted to show, like, those are the basics of defense.
Okay.
And then everything else, because you have 10 guys on the field that will play themselves. They will play as each other. So you only have one guy to worry about on defense. That helps you out in the early run. And then later on, you'll find out that that's not all you want to have happen to you, because then if it's a user versus user game, they're like, you know what? I'll just keep throwing to you and see if you're better at coverage than me. And that's what happens a lot. So like now in like these recent games, like they don't want to figure out, if you were on defense, you don't want to be found out who you're controlling. You want to keep it a mystery until the play actually happens.
Makes sense.
Because then, if I'm on offense and I find out that you're covering someone over here, I'm like, you know what? Let's see how good you are.
Right.
And if you're not as good as the other person, you will get torn apart. And that's going to suck. But the whole point is to be ambiguous. Which sometimes in these older men's, it was like, hey, you're controlling Simeon Rice here. I was like, wait a minute, bro, I'm supposed to be secret. Like, but then you're going to show the controller, you're going to show me who I'm using anyways. That's not fair.
No.
But in nickel 3-3-5, you have 3 people on the defensive line, and I pretty much always know their assignment is going to be to rush me. These other 8 people out on the field, I don't know what they're going to do. And especially because, like, if you are also unpredictable, then I can't figure out what you're supposed to be doing. Yeah, that'd be hard. So that's the give and take there. That's the mental part. I'm like, that has nothing to do with actual football at that point. That's just a rivalry. So that's it.
All right.
That's lesson number 1. Woo.
That was
Any questions, comments, concerns?
that's a good time. What are you, Ray?
Yeah, this is fun.
I'm gonna ask this question because I started off in the beginning. I was like, "Hey, like, what's your knowledge?" I'm gonna ask a different question. On a scale of 1 to 10, where is your desire to learn?
10-8.
All right, right?
7.
All right. I was not expecting these high up numbers.
Oh, okay.
Where were they at before?
Before
Before we started the stream.
5.
Okay. Jay?
I'd say the same, yeah.
Because here's the thing. Anytime you have taught us something, whether on stream or off, I know you're going to make it fun. You're going to make it interesting.
Yeah.
And that's out of 5 because it's like, well, could this be the one topic where I'm just, yeah, it's not for me.
Okay.
I just want to play the game,
Sure.
But it's like, no, I'm willing to learn more.
All right. And I love these older games because we have so many different game modes.
Yeah.
To explore the same basic concepts, but we can either flesh them out or simplify them. Mini camp. I love this.
Okay, this I definitely remember.
Because these are talking about specific versions of this game. Okay. Jay, you can tune yourself out.
Okay.
This is more for everybody else that wants to learn, everyone else that's watching me. Okay? Here we have precision passing. Precision passing works in the sense that they will set up rings on the field There's no defense, so don't worry. But it's all about teaching you the timing of certain passing concepts. Now that ring, as you go through the different difficulties, will shrink. So in the rookie, like these will be easy, these will be wide open, this will be almost, I'm not going to say they're almost hard to miss because they're still very difficult. But when you understand the timing, it'll make sense. And then it'll get a little bit more and more crazy. Now, pocket presence. This is a mini game that teaches you how to stay in the pocket, even if you have danger. So there will be an assigned circle for your quarterback to stand in, and there will be pellets thrown at you. Very slowly, thankfully, at the start. But you will have pellets reaching your quarterback at different angles. And your job is to just move until the game tells you to throw. This one is very tricky, especially for these older games, because the concept of them moving back and forth and all this other stuff sometimes doesn't work all that well. And you get punished a little bit for moving out of the pocket, even slightly. You also get punished for throwing to the wrong person. And the number icon or the passing icons, they change every time. It's very difficult, even on rookie. Coffee corner punt. I just want you to punt, but I want the ball to land in certain spots in the field, specifically the very corners before it gets to the end zone. And then as you progress to that one, the area of success will shrink. Chase and tackle. Do I need to say any more?
Yeah.
Just chase after the person that has the football and tackle him. The closer that you do it, the quicker that you do it, the better that you end up. Ground attack. You run the football. And you do your best you can to end up in the end zone. That's all this one is. And they will add more defenders, and they'll put them in better positions as you go on. But these ones start off pretty easily, and I love the teams that they give you for this one because they give you really good running backs. Swap ball. Sometimes this one is completely unfair. The concept of this one is very easy. Just swap the ball. However, they have, they starts off by having 3 targets, 3 little dummies that they don't move. They're just stationary to pretend to play. And then it's like you have a throwing machine that will throw to those guys, and it'll randomly choose the order on which to throw to. And then your job is to just get in front of the football and throw it, or swat it. Or you can catch it, depending on how good your player is. How does this one get difficult? Well, the position of the dummies change. The throw speed changes. And sometimes it will have you throw a very short pass that's like over to the right, and then it can easily, the very next one is a deep into the left. I was like, well, I can't move that fast,
Right.
Game. So that's why, like in these other ones, like I was trying my best, and like even though they gave me some pretty good defenders, like they gave me Aaron Glenn here. I think they gave me I can't remember what they gave me here. I think Allen or something. But then they gave me Champ Bailey here, and then they gave me Sam Madison. And then lastly, trench fight, just fighting through blockers. Just got to do it fast enough time. And then this one's just kicking field goals. So these ones, you'll just you get better at individual levels of the game. That's it. So that's it. Then there's these other things that we can set up, but we'll talk about that later. Yeah. And that is our first session of learning football.
All right.
So I hope it went well for everyone else that was tuning in. I know that I made this one way longer than anticipated, so I apologize. But yeah, I am glad that overall this became something that you guys wanted to do.
Yeah.
So with that out of the way, Ray, what is our recap?
Well, we've had a lot of fun tonight. You know it's not fun. Madden being more harsh on you when you were just playing the game and you're doing exactly what was asked of you. Give me a break, Madden. That being said, lock your doors. Lock your doors. Travel safe and don't die.
All right, we shall see you tomorrow
Tomorrow.
with, I want to say, maybe Arkham City.
Okay. Start Arkham City.
All right.
Bye.